All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. This week we're going to be recapping Kyung Hoon Lee's win at the AT&T Byron Nelson, and it's major championship week this week at Kiowa. So we're going to give out some picks for that. We're going to preview the whole thing. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get inside the ropes. Got the AT&T Byron Nelson this past weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, like the cut being at 6 under kind of pissed me off. It was just like it was like unfair to guys like John Catlin, like that you picked like for DraftKings, who went 5 under through 2 days and they just don't make the cut.
I mean, yeah, 5 under was, I think, 10 back of the lead, give or take, maybe 9 after 2 days. Like, that was easy. Like, you could get to 9 off the lead just with how low the scores are going this week. So, kind of sucks to see those guys kind of out of the tournament. Like, kind of to put that in perspective, I think Daniel Berger might have made it on the number, and I think he ended up finishing T3. So, like, you could easily just gain the ground quickly. So, it kind of sucks when the cut is that low.
Yeah, and like I remember I saw Jordan Spieth was like at one point tied for the lead after day one. I think he finished with the lead after day one at 9 under. And then next day I saw he was 11 under. He's down by 3 to cage lead. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so he's only down 3. And like an hour or two later, I see like, oh, minus 17's leading after 2 days. Like that's not a great. That's way too low. My opinion.
Not a great debut for TPC Craig Ranch. No. I don't know what the deal is with AT&T Byron Nelson year to year, because like it switches a lot, because it was only at the course previous for 2 years, I believe. So, but if it does change it like a lot, like that, like I'm assuming they won't get it back.
Yeah, I feel like, of course, like TPC Boston, I feel like it was different. I guess I don't know what their deal was, because that's the same thing, that they don't play the same course every year. Like with the one DJ went
with the Northern Trust, you're saying?
Yeah,
Northern Trust. Northern Trust. First 2 days, you gotta be like, okay, like this is a little too easy. The course did not win here this week.
Yeah, no, the course absolutely not. Course might win this weekend. Whenever,
which is
we'll see.
Looking forward to.
I don't think it's gonna be as hard as like the yardage looks, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, I mean, Kyung Hoon Lee, another South Korean, him, Siwoo Kim, Sung JM, like all a bunch of young guys just really killing it, all wearing the CJ Cup hat too.
Yeah, that's a little confusing.
Or not the CJ
definitely.
Cup.
Yeah, it's a CJ.
I know, but I don't think the company's not called CJ Cup.
Yeah, it's just CJ.
It's just CJ. Yeah. Have we ever figure out what they are? Is it a bank or an insurance company or something?
I mean, I would assume what's taken.
I'm gonna guess bank or insurance. Oh, that's the safest bet.
CJ is a holding company headquartered in South Korea.
Holding sounds like bank finance stuff.
They own, or it comprises of businesses in food and food services, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, entertainment, media, home shopping, and logistics. So they do it all.
That is besides the point at the end of the day, though. Yeah. Like I said,
cool. It was cool to see him speak English at the end, though. Like he was really trying to speak English.
Oh yeah, no, he actually did a pretty good job too. Mm-hmm. For someone who probably doesn't speak a ton of English, like the fact that he even went out there and like tried to do it, good for him.
Yeah, props.
And then we had another hot week for Sam Burns. This guy, he's low key turning into like a better Cameron Champ.
Yeah, I guess that's a decent type of comparison. I mean, we said he was 24 years old. He got his first win 2 weeks ago. His all-around game has been really good lately, and that, I mean, when your all-around game's that good, he's tough to beat. I mean, I think the last day he didn't have his best fourth round, and he got beat, but like he was on fire the first 3 days.
Right. He's competed at Riviera. He's like, I feel like he's been around enough to kind of like he should be breaking out. Like he could win a major like this year or next year. Like he's at that stage or he's playing that well. Like he could even win this week. Like I don't think anyone would be surprised, but like people who don't watch golf would be surprised, but like none of us would be surprised probably.
I mean, yeah, he's bringing a little consistency into his game. I think we mentioned a couple weeks ago, like Sam Burns was one of those guys that's either going to finish really high or get cut.
Exactly.
And now he's kind of becoming a little bit more consistent and playing well week in, week out.
And then how can you not mention Jordan Spieth? Another good week. Yeah, he came up short, but like it's fun to keep seeing Jordan do this. He was the first round leader with like that long eagle. It was like a 56, 59 footer, one of the two. And then on Saturday, he had a walk-off eagle as well. Just fun to watch Jordan Spieth do Jordan Spieth things every week.
Just peaking at the right time. He could win career Grand Slam.
That would be pretty dope. Pretty dope.
That would be so awesome if he did that. If he came all the way back and won the career Grand Slam before Rory too, like that'd be even better in my opinion.
And everyone will look back, like say he does that, whatever, and he just keeps playing well, like he has been like past couple weeks, or not past couple weeks, past couple months. Like 10 years from now, no one's gonna remember this like little bump
Down
on the
period.
road.
Yeah.
No.
Like what was it? 2 years? 3 years? 4 years?
People might remember it. Like if
the average golf fan won't.
Yeah, but if he keeps like winning like he's winning, like yeah, it'll be like kind of like a little like mini slump, like something like I'm sure Tiger had something like that in his heyday. But
I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure if either of you guys listened last week, but he was on No Laying Up last week, and he was pretty much just he spent the entire hour talking about how he changed his swing, like I didn't even realize this, but he changed his swing so much since the last time he was good, and like he's finally starting to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah,
that's great because he was hurt in that time too, wasn't he? Like I'm sure he was.
His wrist.
And yeah, honestly, I think we're all just glad he's pretty like he hasn't won a major yet, but he's won again, and he's competing like every tournament he seems to play in. So he's so close to all the way back. I think like he needs that last little major push to be all the way back. But he's right there with everyone else in terms of odds and playing. Like talk about who's hot. Like he's right up there too.
I mean, I saw this stat for they were comparing it to Rory, but it works for Jordan Spieth too because Jordan Spieth's 28 years old. 27, I think.
How old is he? Actually.
I think he's 27. Like they said, Phil Mickelson won his first major just shy of like 33 or 32.
Yeah.
So like
crazy.
These guys have time. Like if they go through a little rough patch to like like Jordan, Rory, they have so many majors that like if they're before they're not even 32 yet.
I mean,
for Ricky, like Ricky.
Same for Ricky.
Yeah, like Ricky has tons of time, but the only problem is I feel like now compared to back then, it's the young talent is so much better than that was when Phil was this age.
And now that I think about it, that was for Ricky.
That was for Rory. But Phil's issue was Tiger, obviously. Like Tiger was just like sweeping everything.
Yeah,
so, like,
which
that was the only person who's beating him. Like Tiger kind of makes up all the young talent together today. So.
Also Phil's issue is they finished second in the US Open 6 times. Like that kind of doesn't really help with a lot.
I mean, speaking of Phil, he got an invite this week to the US Open, and he's accepting that. He's playing in that. Said he can't win if he doesn't play. So I mean, I think that was the right call from the USGA to give him the invite, especially.
I think it was runner up. I think they'll invite him for as long as they can until he's like kind of like just can't really play anymore.
I think it was the right call for Phil too.
I think it was too. I was about to say that as well.
Prior, he had said I think last year that he wanted to qualify for it himself.
Which I think at one point he was close. Didn't last year he qualify for at Winged Foot? Or something like that.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Qualifying. So he can still get it done. He just needs. I mean, I think him accepting the invites now is he realizes, okay, I probably won't be able to qualify for this.
I mean, he's kind of in his last couple of years, his last chance to get this U.S. Open. So
I hope he does somehow. I hope he does. But
I mean, that would be a great story.
Yeah. And then this week we have rangefinders, and until I saw this in the show notes, I completely forgot about
Completely forgot
we were having rangefinders this week. I don't think it's gonna make a single lick of difference other than like as a viewer, other than occasionally, like I think when they're like more like on like a Sunday following the final group, that's when you'll like see them like clicking and you'll be like, oh, that's a little weird. But then for like 2 seconds, you'll be like, oh, whatever.
I think the only time you're gonna see them or even hear about them is like I heard about it, like I was just watching live from on a Golf Channel. I was just watching that, and they said something about the rangefinder, and I came on here and said rangefinder again. Like I feel like if we watch like featured groups, we might see it just because like it's just not many people. Like, but only then and like final groups on Saturday and Sunday, like I feel like we're really gonna see it. I feel like it makes no difference in the scores at all. I feel like it's gonna make like have no effect on the score or pace of play.
The players don't like
that too.
The players are not into it. Like I think Justin Thomas was quoted saying this week, like, why are we doing that? Like, there's no reason to have the range.
Yeah, it's not going to affect pace of play. Like all the pros, like people like the Justin Thomases and Rory McIlroys, they're still going to want to do like all their notes and like the everything and like the stuff like that. So I feel like there's no. I don't know. I feel like there's not as much, like it's not going to do as much as like the PGA hopes, I guess.
I'm
talked about before.
I'm going to call it now. ESPN has like, so they have Thursday, I know, but do they have exclusive coverage like Thursday, Friday, or what's the deal?
I saw Thursday. I saw a commercial for Thursday. But is when I
think they're going to, whoever's doing it, which I'm assuming it's SVP because he does the Masters, but I'm not sure. He's gonna just harp in on the rangefinders.
I hope he does. I hope then, and I hope on like his show. I hope he like harps like talks about it a lot too, and says like how like dumb it is, something like that.
It's a weird tournament to test it out on. Like you're testing this out on a major. Like I wish there was somewhere you could do this before a major.
We've talked about it when the news came out. It just doesn't make a ton of sense at all to do it on a major.
Wonder if it gives more of an
why not test out like at the Byron Nelson where they're going to shoot 30 under anyway? Like why not do that? Like I don't understand it really.
Yeah, I don't think it gives anybody advantage, Jeek.
No, I wonder if it helps out like the PGA Tour or not, like the PGA pros, like the amateur pros, because like they might not have like professional caddies on the bag. I think that might help them out a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying
Pete.
I'm not saying it's going to have them win or anything like that, but I think it will definitely help those guys out.
I think it does a little bit. I think it helps them out, but I don't think it's going to. It'd be interesting to see how they fare compared to previous years with rangefinders.
What do we think?
Or without rangefinders?
Is our guy Pete Ballo making the cut?
I hope so. I looked at his odds on DraftKings Sportsbook this week. He's plus 250,000, I think, to win or something like that.
Okay, so
drop a little $1 to win.
That would be dude, imagine you drop $4 and you just become a millionaire for picking someone to win a golf tournament. For picking someone to play 4 rounds of golf in South Carolina.
Just $4. That's all it takes.
$4.
That's all it takes.
Can't imagine that. That's actually. No,
I wonder what his top 40 line is, like what the PGA like for all of them.
Just to make the cut. I don't know what it'd be. Probably not that. I'm probably not.
That's probably pretty. That's probably like plus 5.
Granted, the course is 7,800 yards.
So their top, most of the PGA pros top 40 lines is plus 1,000 to finish top 40, which is pretty much to make the cut. That's like a pretty good bet to take.
Yeah, but like you also like I feel like a lot of those guys once they make the cut, it's like
that's not just to make the cut though. Don't like 75 guys make the cut?
Yeah, it's a bigger field, I think. So I think a lot of guys will make the cut.
So like that's not just making the cut. Let's put in a really freaking good week of golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I bet making the cut would be more like plus 500, just 750 ish, but I'm not sure. But let's move into who's hot and who's not.
All right, so who's hot? We kind of mentioned it before, so we'll run through it quick. Sam Burns, a win and a second place finish in his last 2, kind of a no-brainer. I mean, his all-around game's been great. And then who's not? I threw in Jason Day for this. He's been cutting his last 3 at the Byron Nelson, Wells Fargo, and the Masters. And this was all after a pretty good stretch. So I'm hoping Jason Day kind of finds his game back, because like he was kind of finding it earlier in the year, and like he's kind of one of those guys that you want to be back. He's one of the best personalities in the game. And the game's good when he plays well. So
I could see him having a good week.
Well. Yeah, I could see him too.
sure.
He played well at, like Whistling Straits, Chambers Bay, kind of like Linksy courses too.
That's why I was thinking that, honestly, so like subconsciously.
Yeah.
But
so we can speak that into existence. Who's not Jason Day?
Exactly. And now it's a new segment. It's kind of like, birdies and bogeys, but not for ourselves. It's kind of like People's Champ. It's the opposite of People's Champ. It's double bogey of the week. So the NCAA Women's Golf Regional, I'm sure everyone's heard of this. It's not old news, but it's been through the news cycle a couple of times. It was canceled due to bad weather, but it was like sunny in day two. The whole thing was just a fiasco that made no sense. The course was playable, but they wasn't playable at a quote unquote championship level. And it was just ridiculous that so many like girls like senior seasons or just like whatever seasons it was for them just ended because of a day of rain.
I mean, yeah, even from like our take as like recent college graduates or about to be college graduates, like I would hate for this to be the way like my career ended.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
college golf.
Like, I mean, it's the way it ended for a lot of seniors last year.
I hate how my intramural basketball season ended last year due to COVID. Like think about like your college golf season, like your like this is ending because the course isn't playable for championship competition. When I mean, you could like the jokes about the PG, like I think No Laying Up posted about like oh, the course isn't playable for competition now at Craig Ranch because it's raining. So
they tweeted the NCAA has canceled the AT&T Byron Nelson, and I thought that was actually like the funniest tweet I've ever seen.
It is,
that was
and like,
so good.
And they're like, and they named John Rahm the winner or something like that. Like someone like completely like not even in like running.
Oh, because he was like a top seed.
He was a top seed. Yeah. He was the top ranked player or whatever it was.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. The NCAA already has a ton of people on their back for other things, and now they do this, and
it's soft.
Yeah, well, and even like them like saying it, like the video, like halfway through the video, like the guy just like they all just like walk up the stairs, like they were cowards, like they literally like were cowards, like walking up the stairs, like away from all the girls after all.
What made you think that was a good idea?
No,
you have like all these girls like crying in the background, like what are you doing? Like just let them play. Like what's the worst that could happen?
It's unfathomable. It just literally doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like how can you say the course is playable but not to a championship level? What is that even like? Okay, it's like it's still playable. If the course is wet, like the pros still play next day. Like it's still a championship level.
I mean,
course.
They had like some of the coaches are saying like, yeah, we walked the course like that day, and there was no one out there like doing maintenance or anything like that. Like they wanted to cancel this tournament for some reason. I don't know why, but they should have had somebody doing maintenance on the course, and they should have been able to play. So I feel bad for them.
Hats off to Riggs and Barstool guys for
So I mean, moving into LFP. People's Champ of the Week. Barstool and Riggs, they're hosting the Let Them Play tournament, and they invited all these teams,
which is great,
to Arizona, I think, to play.
Their announcement too, with like Riggs walking down the stairs and like
it's the same thing. Oh my god,
it was so funny. It was like, so funny.
Hate on Riggs all you want, hate on like everything like Barstool. It's just it's so funny.
Yeah, it was the perfect response to all of that, and I mean the whole thing is just it's perfect. The sweatshirts and shirts for that tournament are like pretty cool too.
It was so funny. Literally earlier that day, I was in my like one of my sport management classes, and these people were doing a presentation on like Barstool's misogyny and like in like women's media, and then literally later in the day this happens, and I'm just like, guys
oh, no.
what now? Like, you see that news, what does that make you mad? Like they can't win with some people.
Yeah, but hats off. I mean, that was definitely a good move.
That was
right
the right
there.
move. That was the right move.
And I mean, if you're the NCAA right now, like, what are you thinking? You're like, wow, like
that was a
we
lob.
just
I'm
got
surprised they let it
outfueled
That
happen.
was
by, like,
literally
Barstool. Like,
a lob to Barstool for that, and like it just
Yeah.
makes Barstool look so much better, and the NCAA looks so bad.
I was saying that Riggs is like end of the year, like meeting with like whoever, like Dave or Erica or whoever he does it with, gonna get such a big raise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like this is like a national thing. Like this is
it
insane.
was all the golf guys, like even like the Daniel Rappaports and Shane Bacons were talking about it. Like they were, it was perfect for that time. It was absolutely perfect, and they got done like literally like a week later. They're playing this tournament. Everything's paid for. Like all the girls can play, like or trying to play. So it's unbelievable.
It's crazy that you know how to like. I mean, he runs the Barstool Classic, I guess, but like, if I wonder if he would have known like how to do that if he wasn't running the Barstool Classic.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's people that aren't just Riggs, like on the inside.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he said. I think he said like there's like an operations like woman who it was her week off, supposed to be her week off, and then now she's coming back to run this for like the week, which is like hats off to her too.
I'm sure they'll give her even more, like double the time off for that.
Yep.
Yeah. So on that note, let's get into skins with the course preview. But first, let's talk about Roback. I'm currently not wearing the hat, but I'm wearing a hat very much like it. Jeek is.
I'm not.
I mean, what else can we say about Roback that we haven't already said?
I'm waiting for the South Carolina shirt to come, Palmetto shirt to come back out.
I wore the Peaches shirt the other day, from the Destination Collection. Big hit on the course.
I'm getting back to Connecticut tomorrow, and I'll be like, our club has like Roback stuff, and I'm going to the pro shop and getting another like hat or shirt.
Oh, you guys have Roback stuff now?
The pro shop is like full Roback, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Or almost full Roback. Really
I'm still deciding whether I'm going to come back to Silver Spring.
You got a caddy at least though.
I'm going to caddy probably. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know if I really want to do the whole thing.
Click the link in the description or in the bio, and
most comfortable stuff ever for a golf course. Literally,
even I know it's summer now, but the hoodies so good.
The hoodies are so cool. I want one so badly.
But yeah, let's move into skins course preview. Let's go.
Okay, PGA Championship this week, second major of the year. It's at the Ocean Course at Kiowa Island, and this week is going to be the longest major championship in history. The course is playing at 76 yards, and it's a par 72, so super long. Rory McIlroy won in 2012 at Kiowa, but even that played at like 7,500 yards. So, I mean, we're adding 300 yards here. It's a Pete Dye creation. It kind of has a lot of characteristics of like a Scotland or Ireland like links style course, and wind's going to be a big factor. Also, that means kind of other Pete Dye courses you could putt from off the green, so you might see that a lot this week. Looking at key stats, strokes gain approach is definitely always the most important and definitely the stat that you want to look at. Strokes gain around the green, like I said, you could kind of putt from off the greens, but you need to be accurate off the green and around the green to score well. Par fours gain 450 to 500. Most of the par fours are pretty long this week because we're playing the longest course. Fairways gained in proximity from 200 plus yards.
All right, so I'll go first. I really like my picks, and they're both going to be in my DraftKings lineup. And I think I'm gonna do very well in the pool this week as well, Jeek. The office pool.
Yeah, I need that. What you said, the link's coming out tomorrow or whatever.
Probably.
Okay.
I've never been more confident in this segment, DraftKings picks, than I have been this week. So
now we're guaranteeing ourselves to finish with zero money combined of all of us with our picks.
All right. So my first one, it is Cameron Smith at 8,900. You can like kind of pair him with like an upper level guy, even two upper level guys. Like that's what I was able to do. So I like the value at 8,900. It's really, really good around the green. Like Jeek said, strokes gain around the green is important. He's 11th. Sick putter. He's 14th in that. And he's 70th approach to the green. Like he's he's just a really solid player. He's one of those guys that like doesn't have a lot of bogeys, so I like him this week. Is also just in good form in general.
Nice. Go ahead, Trev.
So I'll go with my first player. I'm going with him again. My boy Abraham Manser at 7,900. He leads the field in strokes gained at PDOT courses. Saw that in action. He's 26 or better in his last 8 starts, and obviously finished second to Rory at Quail Hollow a couple weeks ago as well. And like he's again, I think he's due. I think he'll play well at like a kind of a linksy type course. Like he played well at Hilton Head last year. Obviously, I picked him there. He finished second. So I think 7,100. I think it's a great value for his type of game, and especially someone who could hit the fairway and hit the green. So
like that. That's your guy. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like it's not an episode of the Pin Eye podcast if Trev doesn't pick Abraham Answer.
I think it's 3 of the last 4 episodes I picked Answer in some form.
Good value.
Yeah, great value.
So I'll go next. So my high guy, I'm gonna go for Will Zalatoris. He's 8,800, which is actually pretty good value up there. In the middle top, I guess. I feel like this guy's kind of just made for major level golf, just like his all around game. I mean, the distance won't be too much of an issue for him. He's pretty good off the tee with distance, and he's third in strokes gained approach this year. I mean, everything is kind of dependent on his putting. His putting is kind of the thing that is kind of costing him for not winning tournaments, but I still think he'll finish pretty well. And 8,800 is pretty good value there, especially for a guy that has such good ball striking. And then for my low pick, Keegan Bradley, 7,300. I think this is absolute steal at this price. If you look at his recent form, he's been amazing. I mean, T18, second, T4, T23, T30, T29, and T10. He's also 8th in strokes gained approach this year, which is a stat that I found kind of surprising, but he's a solid ball striker. And he's 26 strokes gained around the green, which is also pretty solid. And he has like decent distance and accuracy as well. And just like another thing I looked at in 2012, he finished T3, even though the course is going to play a little bit different. It's good to have a little experience. He definitely does need to get stronger with the putter. His putting has kind of let him down. Like also kind of the reason why he hasn't won recently, but he has played pretty well. I think this pick's kind of a home run to add into your lineup, especially at this price.
All right, so I'll go with my lower pick. Cory Connors, 7,600, a guy we've all picked a lot this year. Stats are crazy. 12th in strokes gained off the tee, 6th in strokes gained approach, 9th strokes gained tee to green, 14th strokes gained total. And he hasn't missed a cut since February. And two like best field tournaments since then have been the Masters and Players. He finished top 10 in both. And also a T4 at RBC Harris. Again, I have 7,600 and 7,900. I think Answer and Connors, you can put those two even with the Keegan Bradley and get some really high value, high costing guys as well. I think you can have a great lineup. We all love our picks, so I love mine as well.
All right, so my low one, it's gonna be like the lowest guy in my and actually, you know what? Last second, I'm gonna change mine.
Oh, we have.
Don't sleep on it.
This has never happened before. I don't think.
Don't sleep on it. Okay, it was John Catlin at 6,800. I'm switching it. 6,800 also Christian Gesundheit, otherwise known as Christian Bezuidenhout. I feel like he's firing in all of these majors, like all these big tournaments, the ones that Europeans play well in, where it's like low scores, like you got to have good bogey avoidance. And last time that it was here, it was the same reason I kind of like John Callan. A lot of guys that were playing on the European tour absolutely like just flooded the top of the leaderboard. So I like both of them, but I'm going with Christian Bezuidenhout, otherwise known as Christian Gesundheit. Yeah, he just tried to put his it's not a hard last name. It's
spell his name.
Spell
just spell it out. You got it.
Yeah, I gotta sound it out. You know?
Gesundheit.
Oh man.
All right. So let's move into the betting. Trevor won again last week.
Let's go.
He has 11.
I forgot about that, to be honest.
Cheek has 8. I have 0.
big letdown from Matthew Fitzpatrick last week. He got cut, I think, and I was saying how like, oh, he finishes top 20 in every like tournament, and then he didn't finish top 20. So
didn't even make the cut.
Scheffler kind of let down too with not finish. Not
he made the cut.
Well.
He just didn't.
Yeah.
My winner did well though. I mean, for the most part, Leishman came T21, and then Jeek had Daniel Berger who had a backdoor T3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll start with my picks.
Yeah, Trev, go first.
So I'll go with my other guy, Xander Schauffele.
Wouldn't be a major if you weren't picking him.
T3 at the Masters, T11 at the Zurich, which I guess doesn't really count, but then T14 at the Wells Fargo. So he's hasn't played a ton, but when he has played, he's played well. I just think he's a great ball striker. He's going to hit in the fairway, hits his irons well. He's a good player. He's a good all-around player. I think this could be Rory won his first major here. Xander could win his first major here. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, key line, he's due.
Yeah.
That's something that we say 100%. Every time we pick him.
He's due. Him and Answer. If one of those wins, like you heard here first, like they are due, 100% due. My best bet, Will Zalatoris, top 40, -150. I mean, I think it was between him and Answer, and I figured, if Answer somehow doesn't do well, I'll go with Zalatoris. I feel like Jeek nailed on the head. Zalatoris is I feel like he's one of those guys, like he'll be like a Morikawa, kind of like or Xander, kind of like competes at every single major.
Mm-hmm.
Like he played well in his first, like the Masters, the U.S. Open, like tough course. This is a tough course, long course. Hits it far, great iron player. Figures out the putter, he can do great things. So
I mean, he just has such consistent game all around that like there's not a whole lot that could go wrong in any given round. I mean,
exactly.
Just his putting.
That's why he reminds me of Xander's, because he's like he just competes at the majors. Only playing 2, but he competes at them when he plays in them. So I like him -150. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, I like that. I'll go next. So my winner, I'm gonna go Justin Thomas. He's plus 1450 right now. I think this week's gonna be a tough test for a lot of the guys on tour, and I think one of the top guys is gonna take it this week. And when JT is on, he is truly the best all-around player in the world. I mean, he's won earlier this season at another PGA course at the Players. He's second in strokes gained approach, and I'm looking for his irons to just be absolutely locked in this week. And he's 11th in strokes gained approach from 200 plus. I feel like when JT has like a long shot in, like he always puts it pretty close. So I'm hoping JT's locked in this week, and we'll see him lift the major, another PGA. So and then with my best bet, I'm staying on the Keegan Bradley train, top 40. That's even, I think, which I think is good value. Kind of what I said earlier. I mean, he has the past history, he has the recent form and good ball striking. So I think he'll finish in the top 40 this week.
I like I think there's a ton of guys at top 40 you can get that are great, just amazing value.
So my winner is Webb Simpson at 45-1. He just seems like a guy that's perfect for this course. Also, I feel like Webb Simpson goes under the radar, even though he is like one of those top guys in the world. He's gained 0.36 strokes per round with his irons over the last 50 rounds. He's hit 70.5% of his greens in regulation over the last 2 years. He's gained 0.62 strokes per round around the greens over his last 50 rounds. And that leads to like bogey avoidance, which is like a big stat that I think is going to be big this week. I think it's going to be playing like very hard. What do we think the winning score is going to be at?
Well, that's a good question.
I think like 12.
I think
I was gonna say 10.
I'm gonna say like 6.
Yeah. So obviously bogey avoidance is gonna be big. Being around the green and good around the greens, which Webb Simpson is big. I like that value this week too.
Now the only thing I'm going to contest here with Webb Simpson is we now have the longest course in major history.
Yeah,
he's not a very long hitter.
So
he's also plus -150 to finish top 40 too. Like there's some great top 40 bets out there. So
I was reading something that really intrigued me. It was this big article preview of the course, and it was saying like this course is not playing at like much longer than it did last time it was here because of one, just people hit the ball further, and two, like equipment is a lot better. Just those things added together, kind of cancels it out.
That and like some of the holes will play much shorter because of the they'll be like kind of like a mix of like some holes will play shorter, some holes will play longer
with the wind,
yeah,
as well as
the weather is going to be a big factor this week.
I hope it blows like crazy and the winning score is like 600, like you say, Jake. I want carnage. I would love to watch carnage all weekend. That'd be awesome.
As well as on top of that, like the course is set up. I feel like that number is like the longest it can be, and they have. I was reading up on it. They have like tee locations that are like further up than that, depending on like the day, depending on how they set it up. So I don't think distance is gonna be an unreal thing. I think if you're accurate off the tee and you keep it in, like you're gonna be fine. Especially if you have a good approach game like Webb Simpson does. It's never really hurt him much in the past.
We saw at the 2015, was it 2015? No, 20s. Well, wherever the U.S. Open was at Erin Hills, that was long. 2017. That was the longest major course ever, and Brian Harmon was like T2 like in that tournament.
And Brian Harmon last time it was here was in the top. Oh wait,
was he really?
Maybe that was Erin Hills that I was thinking of actually, like you said.
But like small guys like they like Webb or guys who don't hit as far, like they know how to hit around here too a little bit, which will be interesting to watch.
I think we kind of need to discuss this since we haven't yet. What do we think of Bryson?
I was just like you said that. I'm like,
so my thing is here. Yes, he won the U.S. Open, so that's it broke the course. So that's always going to be the counter argument. And you could always it'll always be egg on my face if I say he's not going to do well, being the book he was on here and saying that he wasn't going to do well U.S. Open week, and obviously he was he won, and being the book he admits he was I was just wrong, which happens, and I think that it's really just going to depend on if his driver's on or not, because if his driver's on, he'll play the course way easier than anyone else.
Right.
But he cannot afford to do things like he did at the Masters where he goes way left or way right. You cannot do that.
Yeah, and there's
can't afford to do it.
There's water. In the wind, you have to hit to your spot. You have to hit straight. Especially into the wind. If it's gonna cut or draw a little bit, it's gonna turn into a fade and a slice.
Also, apparently you can drive it through the fairway really easily this weekend in places. So it's just
he might be taking less. He might be taking less club. But I feel like he's gonna need to be in the. If he hits in the fairway, he has a really good shot of winning this tournament.
I think another guy that's pretty intriguing this week because of the things that we say are good at this course. You need to be able to be good around the greens. You need to be pretty good off the tee. Patrick Reed.
I mean, just a solid player. I mean, Patrick Reed has a chance in every tournament because of how good his short game and putting is. So, I agree with that. I mean, one other thing to mention, we didn't really talk a lot about Rory. Rory's coming off
betting favorite,
betting favorite. He won here last time, and he won what did he win by 8 strokes last time?
He
was 13 under. The next guy was 5 under.
5, so. Under. I mean, what do we think about Rory this week?
I think he's a little overvalued. No dig against him, but it's just
I agree.
Really, he wins a tournament, and all of a sudden you guys are
that's literally that's exactly what I was thinking. He had such a struggle, and then he wins one tournament, and now all of a sudden he's the betting favorite and the highest salary in drafting. Which again,
everything's kind of lining up for him this week.
Yeah,
as far as it being at Kiwa and him winning recently, on form.
If Rory's hot, he could win any tournament he wanted to if he's playing his best. He's the best player in the world when he's on. So,
right.
I expect him to play well. I don't think he'll win. I wouldn't be surprised if he won, but I expect him to be top 20, top 10, right up there on the top of the leaderboard.
And I know we're just going all around the place right now, but low key, like pretty good value, even though I know he's not playing well recently. But Dustin Johnson's almost 19 plus 1900.
Yeah, for talk about
I've been off for
best
a little
player
bit.
in the field,
I mean,
maybe.
yeah.
I mean, we gave you our picks, but like it's obviously I'm doing my obligatory bet on Jordan Spieth. I already put it in.
Of course, yeah. You have to Grand Slam, career Grand Slam could happen.
Now, Pat, let's hear your best bet. I don't think we got to that yet.
Oh, we did not get to my best bet. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like it.
No hole in one in the tournament at -110. I think I was looking at all the distances of the holes the other day, and I was looking at the par threes. The shortest one I saw, I'm pretty positive, was 198. So it's like with the wind, long par threes. I mean, you could fact check me on that easily, but like I could be wrong. But I think that's what I saw. I'm going with no hole in ones with all those factors.
Watch, you're gonna say that, and Webb Simpson's gonna hit like 5 wood and hit a hole in one on like a 250 yard.
Oh, I would be totally fine with that because I don't win.
I bet you it's not even gonna be like a big player. It's gonna be one of the PGA pros. One of the PGA pros is gonna hit a hole in one this week, and
like it's gonna be like his first hole, and we're gonna wake up Thursday morning and be like, all right, Pat's battery lost.
We'll see. That is where it would happen.
Because like Alex Beach hit a hole in one on like.
We'll see.
First round leader. This happens kind of every week. I mean, you didn't pick him to win, but you did pick him in your DraftKings. I like Cameron Smith first round.
I had my stuff in before you had your stuff in, Jeek. To be fair,
I didn't even see that, but
so little reverse thing this week.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't.
No one ever sees it, so
it just feels right. I mean, Cam Smith's known as a good starter. He's played well in the last couple of majors, and it just feels good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And I'll give another little, just a gut feel. I said it when I first got on here. I really think there's going to be I think we're talking about due, like Xander and Answer. I think we're due for a playoff in a major. So I think there's going to be a playoff in this tournament. Would be amazing.
Dude, this tournament's going to be so good.
I know. I cannot wait for it. I'm looking. I'm so excited.
I guess we'll kind of get in the clubhouse here, and I'll bring it up. What do you guys think of the merch this week?
I did check it out. The Callaway bags, I think it was. Those are kind of fire.
You see the tailor-made like putter covers?
Yeah.
I haven't seen those. I'd find those.
They're so cool.
I actually have a Kiwa shirt. My dad played it. My dad also said this is the hardest course. This and Shinnecock were the 2 hardest courses ever played.
Such a flex that he's played Shinnecock. I think I would literally play Shinnecock over almost any course except for like Augusta.
Yeah, I mean
that's like the one I want to play so bad.
Shinnecock would be awesome. It'd be impossible, but it'd be awesome.
But that's not the point.
The point is
to play bad. Not play bad, but like play good, but like you're hitting like an approach and it hits the green and just rolls off. Like you hit a nice shot
in the middle of the green.
Goes off and you're just like, all right, nice.
You just like I wouldn't even
obviously
be
you
mad.
don't want to be shanking balls, but yeah.
No. You want to play well, but like then just like get eaten alive by the course.
Exactly. That's what Shinnecock.
That's what, and hopefully if the wind's blowing, that's what will happen to the pros this week. So we'll see.
I think the merch is good. I was thinking about getting the same exact hat, but with the PGA Championship.
I might have to. The logo looks cool. I like the logo. I have the
orange. I like the orange a lot.
The orange looks awesome. So I might have to get that too.
But what are we doing in the clubhouse this week?
I have one that I put in one in this week. Part 3 of best golfers.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that and I bolded it because I thought that was really that was a really cool one.
Okay.
Since we have a major this week. Might as well pick some guys who haven't won them.
I'm not prepared for this.
Not in mine at all. I only have a couple in mind.
We'll do current golfers. I mean, off the top of our head. I mean.
Who wants? We're doing
have him to win this
draft,
week,
right?
Yeah. I mean, you have him to win this week, Xander Schauffele. I mean, just such a solid player and hasn't gotten it done in the majors. I mean, like he's gotten it done, but he hasn't won. So I went first with that.
I'll go second
versus Xander. Good pick.
Stole
mine.
I'm gonna go Lee Westwood because it's off the top of my head.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too. Lee Westwood. I'm gonna go with Ricky. Talked to him about it today too. And I again. And I'll go with Finau. just because he's probably Puerto Rico curse, never gonna win one ever again. So never gonna win a tournament ever again.
I mean, John Rahm.
Isn't it me?
John Rahm has one, or is it you?
John Rahm.
Okay, Pat's got John Rahm. That is surprising. Like number one player in the world.
And he's 26.
Yeah, you don't really think about that. Well, he might be following the Phil path and might win to a 34, 32 and then just win like 10 or something like that, or like however many Phil's won.
Okay, so since you went with Rahm, coming back around, one of the guys who's been around for a while, Matt Kuchar.
That was a good one too. Kuchar's a good one.
He's competed. I mean, especially the 2017 Open. Obviously, the whole Jordan Spieth
thing.
I mean, a little unlucky there, but I mean, you would have thought he won at least one.
I wonder how like for some of these golfers like that, like had like a tournament like Matt Kuchar, like, and if he was playing anyone else in that tournament, he probably wins. But then Jordan Spieth, craziness happens, and
I mean, it's the same thing of like the whole Tiger situation. Like,
the amount of majors and tournaments Tiger took away from everyone else, like, is just nuts.
Do I have another one?
I think you have another one.
You do. Last one.
Really screwing up the order here. I think I'm gonna go with Paul Casey.
Wait, Jeek messed up the order for once.
You did.
Yeah,
that's a dollar in the jar.
It's because I went first, but I didn't realize I went first because I kind of just said a name, like thinking we were just throwing them out there. But
my money in the jar was getting lonely by itself.
I know, like you have like your $6, and then Jeek says,
what did you say, Jeek?
So yeah, I'm gonna go Paul Casey. I mean, just
that's a good one.
A really good ball striker. I feel like his game would have played pretty well for an Open. And he hasn't won one yet, and he's been around for a little bit. So
I'm gonna go, because obviously I'm not gonna go with like Will Zalatoris, because like he's barely on the scene. I'm gonna go Ian Poulter. I just feel like he's like one of those guys that like he's been around for a while. He's played a lot of good golf, and he just doesn't have a major. But maybe honestly I could see him getting like a Open at some point in the next few years.
This one I feel like all the good ones were taken. I'll go with the guy who's performing the best probably in like major stuff like this. I'll go with Sung J M. I feel like that's a go. Like he's played well at the Masters. He's played well in a lot of big tournaments. That's and like him or Answer would have been my like guys to go with.
I mean, honorable mentions. Tommy Fleetwood,
Daniel Berger. It's a good one.
It's kind of Luke Donald.
That should have been a good one. Luke
Donald,
yeah,
because he's number one in the world, and
I think I was looking at the same article as you, Pat. You took Poulter from me.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Cantlay. Yeah, Cantlay, like Victor Hovland, Daniel Berger.
No, Victor Hovland doesn't really count because
he's young. He's young.
So is Sung J.
That was just Sung J is young.
Matthew Wolff playing this week.
Jones.
Matthew Wolff playing this week.
That's a good question.
I think he withdrew. I think I heard he withdrew
is out
last week.
Yes, he withdrew. Injury.
Fleetwood's up there too. No major.
Yeah.
How many majors does Sergio have? I know he won the Masters, but
just one. That was the first. That was the only one.
He's another one who got pretty unlucky with timing. I feel like if Tiger wasn't around, Sergio would have a couple majors.
Oh, he definitely would have. 100%.
Yeah,
and like he was like right in Tiger's peak too. Like so, him winning that Masters was.
Oh, I have the best
awesome.
one. I have the best one.
Who?
Okay.
Yes.
The best one.
It's a troll. Ches Reavie.
Okay.
We'll get him on at some point. It'll happen.
It'll
happen. But other than that, gonna be a fun week. This is gonna be such a sick week of golf. Great course,
awesome.
Great freaking venue. So many good. We literally were going down like the list, and like Dustin Johnson's at like plus 1900. It's gonna be a crazy
value everywhere.
Crazy,
values everywhere. The PGA is, I feel like, is the most random in terms of guys at the top sometimes. So
yeah.
I mean, to cap it off here, do we want to do we each want to pick one like top or high player that might miss the cut this week? I feel like we always pick guys who we think are going to play well, but we never pick guys who we think are
miss the cut.
Sure. Who wants to go first?
No, of course no one wants to go first.
I'll go with Bryson.
Okay. That
I'll go Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Brooks Koepka. I just don't think he's 100%.
Koepka, I think Koepka's a good one too. He's still be doing the weird, or a less abbreviated stance of the.
I mean,
Also,
the thing about Koepka is it wouldn't surprise me if he did come out there and play well. Like, just kind of out of nowhere.
No, it's one of those things like you always think like, oh, he hasn't been playing or hasn't been playing well, and then he comes out in a major and does his thing in a major and plays well.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited because of situations like that. You never
know. Never know.
Like literally, just so many storylines could happen. It'll be fun. I'll be live betting somebody probably because
can't wait.
Yeah. So, other than that, what do we have next week? Doesn't matter. Just enjoy PGA Championship week. We'll worry about what PGA tournament's next.
Yep.
Yeah.